am Sivarama Prasad, visiting faculty at IARE. Today we will have a look at prototyping and prototype. Actually, in any new product development, this is one of the very important stage. This is the stage where your idea, drawings or paper, whatever is there, it is just getting converted into the reality of the product. That's why it has got a lot of importance, and also it is a basic thing which is going to give the confidence to the man who got this idea. See, normally every industry, the main focus is on to serve the people or serve the society. Of course, not with a general thing, but by serving, it is in return develops the economy and wealth, everything. So basically it is serving. Serving means what happens? It is a product or a service. If it is in the olden days, we used to serve with our knowledge. Then what happens? If we are not able to serve, people will understand and we don't mind losing the opportunities. But today it is not that. You should never miss an opportunity. And instead of that, you have to create. Even if that man is not having any idea to use it, you have to create an idea. You have to create a want. You have to create a desire. Then sell your product. That it has come to that stage. So, what happens if you are like that? Then you have to create knowledge or get knowledge, acquire knowledge, or you have to think of a lot of creativity. So, in this world, what happens is, it all starts with a customer. What is a customer? He will have a lot of needs, he will have a lot of problems, he will have a lot of opportunities. You have to go to him, get all the details, imagine, that means with an empathy, you think as if you are going to struggle with that. Then picturize in your mind. Then you have to think of new ways, new methods, new things. That is creativity, innovation. Then you should start giving a value in the marketplace. Then you should go to product and service. See, what happens is, when it is starting from the customer and reaching the customer, in between there are a lot of stages. And at the end of the day, customer should be delighted and the man who made it, he should also be satisfied. That's why this cycle is a never-ending cycle, whether it is a new world or old world or anything. Then, if you see what you want to serve, whether it is a service or a product, or nowadays a new one is apps. It is one way of serving. So these are the major three things which works in everybody's mind or in everybody's market. So science is about knowing. That means it is a knowledge, intelligence and whatever it is in your brain. But engineering is about doing. That means whatever you have learned, you have to apply. Then do it and deliver the product. Then comes the next stage of business and all. When you are doing this, what happens is, the science man, he is happy once he knows everything. But an engineer is not like that. He is the doer. He is the man who is delivering the product. And he is the man who is applying the science. He is the man who is developing all these things. So, engineer has got a different roles at different stages. And especially he is the man who is converting that. At R&D stage, it is an ideas, needs, converting into design processes, developing new technologies like that. At the design stage, whatever idea, he has to convert it into a drawing, a manufacturing one, wherein he has to transfer the knowledge into a workable product. And as a manufacturing man, he really does the product with new methods, materials, machines, men, everything. And of course, later it is a service. That means at the function level, if there is any problems, you have to do it. And in between, there should be someone to really make it a commercial one. That is entrepreneurship. So in all these cases, the man, as an engineer, he should acquire a lot of skills. And today, with people in the market having so many desires and they want so many products, and the products also getting different shapes, to serve all, the engineer also has to get different skills, update it, upgrade it, or combine with other things, core, application, and everything. You see, it is not like a single service. Unless you do that, you will not be able to really serve the market. When it comes to the question of execution and making, industry believes in 4Ms. That is material, method, man, and machine. These are the 4 things which are converting all your ideas into the product. So here what happens is, once the development means, there are majorly mindset, and also you should have a checking. What checking? Is it desirable? Is it feasible? Is it viable? Is it sustainable? Or is it having any impact on the society? These are the basic things which you have to check. And then you come into the real stage of development. That means, first stage, it is only identifying the problems, then finding solutions, and it is a background work. Then comes a little open, that is a design. This is where you are going to make it on paper, a soft copy of a product or a service or a system or anything, software. Then the real one is making. Later on is a trials, testing, and then serving, feeding, feedbacks, information, improvement, and all. In all these cases, there is one stage where from design to making, that is where this prototype comes into the picture. Before design, it is all in the mind. After making, it is a real product. In between the transition stage, that is taken care by prototype or prototyping. So, in any system, if you are in this side, is okay. Or if you are on that side, that is also okay. But when you are transferring, when you are transiting, that is the area where the most of the problems arise. It is at the border. It is a no man's control or line of control, or both the people trying to take control. Like that, there will be a lot of confusions in that area. That is the area where this prototype is working. And if you see normal development, need, imagination, ideas, design, specification, then there are 3-4 stages. That is POC, prototype, MVP. Then comes the making. Making, once you come to the making, it is about to start a production, pilot production, or full production. Then you are testing, offering, and done. So this is how you are moving. When you are moving like this POC, prototype, and MVP, these are the 3 things where the transition takes place. That is what is one of the major portion for this prototyping and prototype. And after that, this is a never-ending process. It goes on. Once you give product, there will be feedback, there will be improvements, then breakthroughs, again new developments. So it goes on. But this is the stage where you are moving from one place to another place. So, in a product development, prototyping and prototype is coming at one stage. It is one of the methodology. And this one, it has no relation with any of the field of working, or engineer, or non-engineer, or doctor, nothing like that. Typing, prototyping and testing and trials, this is a common thing for any field. What it does really is, in most of the times in design and development, there will be a lot of visualization required. The man may be knowing, but the man who is going to use, he may not be having all this visualization. And expectations, he can describe, but he doesn't know how it looks. And Maybe we will tell logically, but the confidence is a different one. You may tell logically, but all the people or all the times, you cannot take it confidently that it works. So you have to convert that into a physical product. And this prototyping is one which is really making that stage into a product. That's why this is very important. It helps the industry, and it is bridging the gap from a idea designer to industry where delivery product is major thing. And all the doubts are getting clarified, and it is building confidence. Yes, it will work. And these are the things based on which next actions start. So, as you said, there are many stages. Once the design is over, our focus, let us limit into design and making. In between only the step is there. So, we take only in that. And once the design is over, the designer may be having confidence. His idea will work. But the maker who is going to make that, he may not have that much confidence, or he may not have that this idea will work, or his intuition may be telling there is a problem. And the manufacturer or the marketing person, he will only believe only if there is a product. So designer, he can explain, but unless it comes into the physical shape, it will not. So the first stage is proof of concept, that is POC. There will be a lot of ideas. It is mostly activity to give confidence to the designer. That means he will have a lot of ideas. But which idea will work, or which idea can technically be suitable? He has to check the feasibility. And only that idea or only that process, he will take it into development process. And he has to find and explore a lot of technologies. That means when you have to make a product, it is not that one process is sufficient. There may be new process you have to develop. That is where you have to convert the technology into the manufacturing process. And when you are in the design stage, you may add a lot of ideas into features. But whether the features and functions, whether they are running smoothly, or they are stopping, or they are failures, or it may not be giving the desirable function, you have to check. The designer, while making in the product as a drawing, he thinks everything will work. But when it is made converted, there is some small ifs and buts that has to be taken. Otherwise, customer will not accept your ifs and buts. And this is basically, at times, you want to share your knowledge to your team so that internally, when you are sharing, major issues will get solved. So, first thing is, as a proof of concept, it clears all the doubts of idea. That means, idea's feasibility doubts, it will clarify. It has nothing to do with the customer. It is only a development stage. It is serving only the designer. Then comes prototyping. See, in prototyping, we call everything, all these things as prototyping. But in prototyping, there are 3-4 steps. How it has come is, see, today what is happening is, it is not only the product. There is a service, there is an app also. In all these cases, what is happening is, even the information and the data is also considered as a product. So for which the data or the past data is becoming as a raw material. So this information is being collected, it is taken into a logical system, then it is making it yet a product. That means these are the things which will happen. Earlier, it was not so complex. But today, with the complexity, what is happening is, you have to build and you have to check before really releasing it. Earlier, when 1 or 2 steps means, a man can tell. Today, because of the complexity, there are a lot of steps which If it is yes, it will do. If it is no, it will not do. Or if it is yes or no, it will go and stop. If it is for doing one activity, you have to conduct both the activities. Like that, there are a lot of logics. When all these logics are there, human brain takes a lot of time, or sometimes it gets confused. That's why people started taking help of instruments, systems, logical softwares, all these things. So, one of the methodologies is this prototyping. Here what happens is, you run a program, you try it, then you check it, then you give it. In the same way, if it is a product, you make it from the fundamental principles, from basic processing things, then you create it, whether it is really working or not, or whether what you thought it has come or not. You just do it. Then try to use it, whether it is functionally, it is taking place what you wanted, or it is only a dummy one, or it is clarifying all the doubts. So, prototyping comes as an overall activity. That is concept, doing, and trying. All these things put together is called prototyping. Normally, in the olden days, prototype means it used to be called only of making from the drawing to product. But because of the systems now, it is also become a methodology of trying from idea stage to product stage. So first what you have to do is, you have to collect the basic requirements and then build one functional interactive system so that all the basic things are being met. Then different ways of refining it to see that whatever you thought, whether it has come or not. And in these, you will have a lot of interactions or iterative methods. One by one, you will be changing it. Finally, you will come to a concluding step. That is where you are sure that yes, whatever the requirements, it has met. Until this stage, there will be a lot of things happening. So finally, what actually the prototype is? It is the first step to make a tangible product from an intangible idea. That means idea is being converted into product, whatever it is, whether it is an app or service or a product. You have to really see it, materialistically you have to see it. And then second thing is, until design, it is all logics or imagination, and it is an effort on paper, or it is an effort on mind. It is an effort background. But this prototype means you have to create it here outside. That means you have to deliver as a product. It may not be final, but it should be first trial. So the fabrication and the design. Fabrication requires complete product. Design gives a design. In between converting, there will be a lot of iterative steps. That is where this prototype. And you have to check the idea. You have to check the concept during design itself. Sometimes, unless that idea or concept works, you cannot proceed to the next one. So at that time, you will be making, at least to check the idea, you will be making some small samples to verify, yes, it will work or not. That means it need not be a full product, but at least only for the logic of that working. Then sometimes you have to make samples to make the people understand. That people may be your own people, internal team, or outsider, or management team, or to the customer differently. So at that times you will make different types of samples. And you have to visualize entire people, because you are generating, you may know, but all others, if you want to convey that message, you can convey it through different ways. Sometimes it is working, sometimes non-working, sometimes dummy. That means what is desired, what is undesired, or whether it is expected, unexpected, is there a surprise? All these things to validate or to verify, you need to make a sample. And this brings clarity also. There will be some logical positive negatives and some conflicting ideas or some conflicting points because of which the project may not proceed. So at that times, this gives a basic way wherein it creates whether you have to do experiment or whether you have to do a concluding step or whether you have to hold on, whether you have to stop it because of various reasons of conflicting or confusing or clarity. All these things, it will finalize the design. And sometimes what happens with overconfidence, if you make it, if it fails, at the later stage, the failure is very difficult. You cannot bear the loss. So, sometimes it gives at the first stage itself the loss. That means, loss at the start is very, very simple and easy to digest. Whereas at the end, if you want to create, it is a very difficult one. Like this, it is in a way you are making a sample or you are trying to understand the idea when you are converting. This is the stage. So it can be in any way. It can be different ways of that. So it is simply, if you have to tell, it is for an evaluation and it is an approximate final system. Here, all your core knowledge, you will bring it into solve this. Here there is nothing like application or marketing or customer. Here it is purely manufacturing and applying the core subject and solve the problem or take the step further to customer. So here lot of R&D works, there is iterations, trials, whether it is this way or that way, a lot of things will work. And that is the reason why many of the times to find a solution, you will not be able to give a target date. But you will estimate some target and based on thing, you will work. And reaching the desired goal and a desired target, that is the only objective. So you will be working day and night in this case. And the team also has to sacrifice a lot of things when you are making this. It is not like 8 to 4 work or 9 to 5 work like that. You have to continuously work on this. And it is the pain of delivery. And most of the times today, in prototyping or in the new methodology and the new mindset of design thinking, people will not believe you if you keep on talking. They want a mindset of bias for action. That means start doing something, even if it is an approximate, even if it is a failure. Start doing it. Then you will know. You will take further steps to do further. If you are thinking concerns, negative points, opportunities, like that if you start thinking, you will keep on thinking, but you will never come into the product stage. Because of this, prototype is mainly you have to give it to a product stage. Start doing it. Even if you are wrong, even if you are not 100% right, start doing it. So main goal is you have to evaluate the idea and bring it as a sample to the society. So when you are making it, how this works? Designer has made drawing. He can explain it through presentation or through some sketches, through some drawings, softwares, simulations. This is one way of doing. That is at the table stage or at the computer stage or at the drawing stage. He can explain. Here, it is not that all the 100% people will understand. To some extent, the people who are in the same field, they can understand. So for others, you have to develop samples. When you are developing samples, you will not be able to get the new technology. So you may do it from the basic methods. So while doing with basic methods, you may not be really replicate what you want to, or you will not be able to totally give picture of what you want. It is some approximation. So you will use different methods, but try to give visually a shape. Or sometimes functionally also you may give shape. So when you are developing samples, sometimes it is only for the concept feasibility. Sometimes only designer is trying to verify. So he may do it only in the lab. That means in a very small way, in a very small dimension way he may do it. Sometimes it is a mock-up model. You want to see how it looks, how big or how small, or what is the shape, whether it is a attractive shape or easy to handle shape, or it is difficult to move, like that. It is basically on the look like or appearance. Sometimes you will be doing it to know whether it is working or not working. Some linkages, some signals, some sensors, all these things will. Sometimes you will do a model almost for a market demo. That means there it should be almost 100% functional. Then you go into the pilot production, pre-production. Some of the things you have to do: testing, life test, approval test, all these things. All these things comes under a prototype only. And next thing you should concentrate is for whom you are making it. Is it designer for himself, or designer conveying to the team, or designer trying to get an approval from the management, or designer doing it to make the customer understand that whatever his ideas, whatever his needs, whatever his expectations are being met, or he want to see whether in the market is it a right fit or not. So different stages, different contexts, the product is different. All are not same. And it has all got a time. Is it at the startup stage? That means idea, that is long before the product is going to be made. Or is it only for design checking? Or is it only for a trial demo? Or it is like a demo for a fund partner. That means the financial resources, manpower resources, marketing resources. They have to get confidence. Otherwise, financial resource will not come into this. So at different stages, you will be making different type of samples. So all these come under a stage called a prototype only. So expectations to ideas, and from ideas to design, and from design to functions, and functions to the product. All these steps, they will be verified, validated during this prototyping stage. That's why it has got an important role while converting that. So in general, what happens is at the time of, in a pictorial way, if you want to see, initially at the discovery stage, you'll have a lot of diverging ideas, diverging methods. You have to bring them into a converging way and create it into a single line where you are concluding, yes, this is what I want to make. And the confusions, ifs and buts, you have to one by one, you have to clarify. That is why discovery, concept, then prototype and product. That is how it goes. If you see in the design stage, there will be a lot of ideas, lot of branches, but those things will be in a diverging way. They will not come into one particular target. So this prototype, it brings it into a converges into a single line wherein you are aligned into giving a product. So some of the ideas, some of the technologies, some of the methods, they will get discarded, or some of the things maybe made it better. Some of the things you will invent it new also. That is how it aligns and converges into a single point. That is why the prototype, at the end of the prototype stage, you are very sure what you are going to make, what you are going to give. And there are different types of you will be making at a researcher, or what designer wants, what engineer wants. These are all the things which you will know in the coming stages. This is only to explain you how important it is. So there you will give low fidelity, high fidelity, or feasibility. These are all the various ways which you will be, based on the idea, you will be doing the product. And the next one is minimum viable product. Maybe you have made the product to see whether it really fits into the market or whether it is what really customer wanted. That is the next stage. The prototype may not be 100% equivalent to the final product, whereas minimum viable product is almost a final product. It addresses all the benefits what are identified in the initial stage, and it definitely gives value to the customer. And in fact, if customer, he can experience the working also, functional, and he can know what is the reliability, or is it usable or not. And when you give the product, is seeing it with a delight or is seeing it with a depressive mode, you will know. So this is almost a final product. So the design, proof of concept, prototype, and minimum viable product. These three things, they are the converting stages. And here, the interaction and feedback is very important. You have to give value to every interaction. That is why what happens is, in traditional design, you collect all the information from the customer, you will start doing it, then you will give the product. Finally, you will come to know whether it is what customer wanted or whether it is what we understood wrongly or rightly, that thing. Today what is happening is, at every stage of design, functional, reliability, usability, delightfulness, every stage you are interacting with the customer and you are changing it then and there itself. That's why the customer interaction has become more important, so that at the end you get a product which satisfies the customer. That's why if you see the left side and right side was earlier when customer is not very knowledgeable, that was okay. But today customer is very knowledgeable, and more than the knowledge, he has got a lot of desires. The desires which were never envisaged or which was not anticipated. That's why if you take 1 year time, by the time you started to the end, if you take 1 month time, the ideas are changing. Finally, when you launch the product, he may think, this is not what I want now. My idea is changed. So to have continuous interaction, it helps you to upgrade your product in line with the customer. That's why nowadays, this continuous interaction has become more important. So if you summarize everything, in the beginning, it is POC, then you move into prototype, then you get into MVP, then finally you produce. So it is first to check the idea, then idea to the feature and function, then select all the process and then give it as a product which is going to deliver to the market. So here, the design thinking is the mindset and also the new methodology which is really working. That is, every stage you interact, you develop, and the prototype is one major milestone which is converting the idea into the final product. That's why it is very important. And what you have to see is, this way if you follow, you are very sure you will get a success, and you will not give a surprise to customer on the negative side. You will always give a surprise on a delightful side. And when he is delighted, your product, you will get the generated wealth on a continuous basis. That's why this prototype stage will give you a alarm or a delightful forward step. Alarm because if what they wanted is different, or if their desire is changed, then you have time to correct it and then give it and still get into the delightful stage. That's why it is very important. This is only to tell you only the initial time. We will get into more details later on. For the time being, thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.